દિવસ પહેલાં કે હું નથી સમજી 12 દિવસ કેવું કંઈક. ઓમ પૂર્ણમ ઓમ વિશ્વમ દર્પણ દૃશ્યમાન નગરી તુલ્યનિજાંતર્ગતમ પશ્યન્નાત્મનિ માયયા બહિર્વોદ્ભૂતૈ યથા નિદ્રયા યસ્સાક્ષાત કુરુતે પ્રબોધ સમયે સ્વાત્માનમેવાદ્વયમ તસ્मै શ્રી ગુરુમૂર્તયે નમઃ શ્રી દક્ષિણામૂર્તયે બીજસ્યાંતરિવાંકુરો જગદિદં પ્રાङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगीव यस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये. ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Verse 139. नित्यनिर्गुणरूपं तत् नाममात्रेण गीयताम् अर्थतो मोक्ष एवेशः संवादि भ्रमवन्मतः. So Vidyaranya is raising various possible doubts for how the Nirgunam Brahma Upasana gives rise to moksha. That's a question. And the certain statements are very loose. They are not loose actually. We have to fill in the gaps because we already have an understanding. If we don't have understanding, then definitely we will be out of ignorance. We say the statement is loose, but the statement is made by either a Bhagavan or statement is made by a Rishi. Cannot be loose. So our understanding is loose in fact. So that is why, we have to certain time we have to supply. From our own understanding, we have to supply. And as I told you, Bhagavan said in 5th chapter few statements, in 3rd chapter some statements. Well, you feel that what he already taught in the 2nd chapter as if it has no bearing. No bearing. कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्थिता जनकादयः लोकसंग्रह संपश्यन etc. कर्तुमेव अर्हसि. So what I am saying is karmana eva samsiddhim, karmana eva moksha siddhim, samsiddhim, samyak siddhihi, moksha. Karmana eva. Karma alone gives this moksha. Well, we have to supply. Definitely, this statement is right. How? If karma is not there in one's life, then definitely there will not be karma yoga. Where is karma yoga without karma? Karma yoga is just an attitude, right? And therefore that attitude only elevates the person. It takes a person very close to the moksha. Yeah. The karma yoga, the attitude behind the karma and karma phala definitely gives rise to a lot of independence. And one is interested in the independence, freedom. That's the only goal. Human life has only one goal. He wants to be a free bird. So definitely, you want a freedom. No one likes a restriction. Even a restriction of a teacher, restriction of the Shastra, you won't like actually. You may follow certain disciplines, understanding the benefit of it. But generally, no one likes a restriction. One wants to see oneself a free person, where whatever the factors are there, there are three dimensions of the world. None of the dimensions should limit you. First dimension is a time. Time should not limit you. We are, in fact, we are working against the time, really. Yeah, my own exercises, my diet, my all supplements is ultimately to to win over the time. Yeah, no one, everyone wants to survive. The instinct for survival is very natural. It is there in all the living beings. Yeah, so that shows, and that one loves existence. If you love existence, what is working against your existence you won't like, and time is that which devours you, and therefore you just don't like. Anyway, what I'm saying is ultimately one is working for freedom. Anyway, so and then place. You don't like a limitation of a place. You are in a certain place and certain thing is happening somewhere and you want to witness, you want to experience that, you cannot. Of course, then on this Zoom and this and that can help, you know. But always people say that, well, Swamiji, what is live and what is on the Zoom makes a big difference. Yeah, that's very true. Our all friends only tell me. So that one wants to witness a certain whatever, a good happening, etc. One wants to witness, one wants to experience this in person. You cannot. You are in a certain place, the thing is happening somewhere else. So you definitely, and especially when I let me tell you one thing, a very, very recent experience before few minutes. I saw a one beautiful a picture of Japan, really, a particular place where a beautiful type of vegetations is there. I mean, which is marvelous, crimson red, and the whole area, it's a sea. It's a on a seashore it grows. I really believe me. I felt that if I would be in Japan at this time, I would really enjoy it. It happened to me again also before some time when I visited Long Island. What happened was there are certain plants called wisteria. Wisteria, you must be knowing those plants. Our Umilaji introduced that, and they have a beautiful fragrance, and they're our violet, and all come down from the branches like that. And then I just checked in our through Copilot, what is that? I checked where this grows, etc. And I found in Japan a particular place. What I saw in Long Island is a baby. There, the whole tree, so many, like our, banyan tree branches, like that. And the whole place is like that. And there are various colors also. My God, I felt I should have been in Japan at this time. This is the limitation of place. Yeah. You cannot be. If you are in one place, you cannot be at the same time in a different place to experience a given thing. Anyway, and the third is a certain attributes also limit you, right? You find that you have a certain attributes, and you always want it to be different from what you are, because you see someone with a certain attributes and you want to be that person. So those attributes should be in you. That also happens to everyone, including I. It happened to me also. Whenever I listen any music, especially classical music, and that too with a Malcolm's, etc. Malcolm's, that I always feel that I should have learned it, and I should have, and I imagine myself as a good musician, because there is nothing wrong in imagining. And you see, this is all samsara. This is called samsara. When you feel a limitation of any type, well, then definitely you are not happy, right? So time, place, and attributes. This is the world. There is nothing else. There is nothing else. Name, time, place, and attribute. No, Swamiji, all objects, they are all attributes. They are all attributes. For Vedantin, it is attribute. Substantive is one. That substantive is Brahman. Everything is an attribute. Yeah, please understand this. There is no substance. Substance is Brahman. That alone lends existence to everything. Because of that, it shines also. Consciousness is a substance. Is the substratum, substance. Everything is just attribute. Anyway, so here, so these possible doubts are there. And and Vidyaranya is making clear that how this Nirguna Brahma Upasana gives rise to a moksha. So we supply through Jnanam, etc. And now one doubt which is raised here in 139 is about Nirguna Brahma Upasaka thinks of Nirguna Brahma at the time of death. I told you that Tat Kratu Nyaya. I mentioned also it is there in Chandogya, it is there in Brihadaranyaka also. And that Tat Kratu Nyaya means as you think, so you become. So, and that is called Tat Kratu Nyaya. So one who is thinking, I am Brahman, 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 I am Nityam Brahma, I am Nirgunam Brahma, I am Nirgunam Brahma, I am Nirgunam Brahma, I am Nityam Brahma, etc. Then Swamiji, he will become, correct? He will become. Then if he will become, this become, take it right now, become. Okay? And if he becomes, because of you are saying Tat Kratu Nyaya, then what happens to moksha? He will become Brahman, but he actually, we want moksha, we don't want to become Brahman. Ye kya baat hai? What are you saying? This Nitya Nirgunam Rupam. Yeah, then I gave you example of it, right? The Swarna Mandir Express. Do you remember that? So, yeah. Or Nilamji will definitely. There is a train from Mumbai to Amritsar. Yeah, it's called Swarna Mandir Express. Yeah. So, no. I'm going to Amritsar. The person who is in Bombay says that I'm going in a train to Amritsar. It's not Swarna Mandir Express. It is Golden Temple Express. Kya baat hai? What are you saying? It is so. Therefore, Nitya Nirgunam Rupam Yat Nama Matrena Giyatam. Let it be called by distinct name. That's another name for moksha. But how, Swamiji? That's what I said. Brahman is something which is free from, which is timeless, which is free from attributes, which is free from space, because it's all pervading. There is nothing which is not pervaded by Brahman. Therefore, which pervades even space. So a given place is very limited in place. That itself is pervaded by Brahman. Space itself is pervaded by Brahman. Therefore, it is all pervading. Therefore, there is no limitation of place also. So, what you really want to become, right? That you want to gain a freedom from time, place, and all attributes, ultimately, while you are that. So, therefore, you are free. So, when you become Nityam Nirgunam Brahma, you are gaining the freedom. It's not becoming, you are knowing. We know that very well. So, Arthataha Mokshaha eva Eshaha. Vidyaranya says Arthataha, in meaning, Eshaha eva Mokshaha. That alone is called Mokshaha. I will become Nitya Nirgunam Brahma, but where is moksha? Arey, that is called moksha. If you don't know, still you are free. You are free. But if you know that you are free, that is the freedom. If you don't know it, you take yourself to be bound. And that the error, well, definitely leads to samsara. Means you will all the time haunt this thing. Various limitations. So, and this, so just as Samvadi Brahmavan Mataha, so just as Samvadi Brahma, etc., leading to the positive benefits, same way Nirguna Brahma Upasana leads to positive benefit called moksha. Could be at the end of the life. We saw also Maranakale Brahmalokeva. So, either here at the end, even before. That's how Bhagavan also in second chapter at the end he said Brahma Nirvanam Ruchati. So definitely even person will gain knowledge. That is with respect to knowledge, because it's a Sthita Prajna section. So Brahma Nirvanam Ruchati. So basically one person gains at the end of the life I mean, before death, one becomes free. Same way, this person, Nirguna Brahma Upasaka also, well, he, because of this Upasana for a long time, and well, he gains this a mind which is free from no obstacle and appreciates Mahavakya, etc., then he will also become free. And if he doesn't become free here, sometimes the obstacle is is neutralized by taking birth itself. Swamiji, what is the example? Vamadeva. Yeah, Vamadeva was. If Vamadeva was knowing already, then why should he take a birth? But in the womb itself, Vamadeva said, well, that aham Surya Abhavam, I was a Surya, I was this, I am this, I am this, I was that, all everything, I am everything. In this womb itself, then who gave knowledge? Nobody gave knowledge. Then how he knows now? The obstacle has gone. The prarabdha born obstacle has gone, taken birth, and the obstacle has gone. That's it. So anything can happen. Obstacle goes and person will know. Definitely. Also in Brahmaloka also person can know. Then we will call it Krama Mukti. But that's a benefit. So he did that Upasana, which is a Brahma. It's a Brahma because he is already Brahman, but he takes himself to be Jiva. And now he superimposes Brahman upon oneself and does this, I am Brahman, etc. Well, then definitely this Sambhadi Brahma will definitely give advantage. Like the examples of a Sambhadi Brahma we gave, Pratyaksha, Anumana, etc. in the beginning of this chapter. Let's go to now next verse. Tat samarthya jayate dihi mula vidya nivartika avimuktopasanena taraka brahma buddhivat. So, how Krama Mukti well takes place for Upasaka has been mentioned here. Tat samarthyat means as a result of, because of the power of the Upasana, as a result of this lifelong Upasana, and as a result of then thinking of Nirguna Brahma, etc. at the time of death, or in a Brahmaloka, dihi jayate, dihi means this knowledge, aham brahmasmi jnanam takes place. And what is that? The Mula Vidya Nivartika. Dihi, this jnanam is Mula Vidya Nivartika. Nivartika means a remover. Remover of what? Mula Vidya. Remover of, Vidya is of two types. This is in Shastra, they say like this: Mula Vidya, Tula Vidya. So, Mula Vidya means ignorance. Ignorance pertaining to oneself, the self, is Mula Vidya. And Tula Vidya, ignorance pertaining to, the world. So, here Mula Vidya. So, definitely Mula Vidya Nivartika Bhavati Dihi. Dihi means this Jnanam, the self-knowledge, Aham Brahmasmi iti Jnanam, which has resulted because of, ultimately, because of that knowledge has happened because of Mahavakya Shravanam. Mahavakya Shravanam has become effective because of that Upasana. So, like that, those whole connection. So, Mula Vidya, Atma Vidya, Atma Vishayak Avidya, Nivartika, it goes away. In Naishkarma Siddhi, by the way, if you want to know about this Mula Vidya, which is discussed in a great detail in chapter 3 of Naishkarma Siddhi, it's worth visiting. Worth visiting that thing. So, Naishkarma Siddhi, I'm planning, of course, if Pancadasi is over, well, we'll also start Naishkarma Siddhi. So it's really worth. There's another text which is to be studied, and like our Vidyaranyas, that one is a Sureshwaracharya. So Mula Vidya Nivartika Dihi Jayate. This will be born. And what is the pramana for that? So Jabala Upanishad. What is that? Avimuktopasanena. So this is regarding Avimuktopasanena. Means this kind of a jnanam takes place through upasana that is supported by Jabala Upanishad. Avimukta Upasana. So here a Shiva Upasana, of course, but that is a Nirguna Brahma Upasana only. And Shiva is called Avimuktaha in Kashi Kshetram. Other name you know is a Kashi Vishwanath. Other name is a Avimukta. Avimukteshwar. One of the first Shankaracharya ji is called Avimukteshwaranand ji. You know? Jyotish Pith Acharya, Jyotish Pith Shankaracharya ji, his name is Avimukteshwaranand ji. Yeah. The Dwarika Shankaracharya is Sadanand ji. But then the other Acharya in Jyotish Pith is Avimukteshwaranand ji. So this Kashi Vishwanath is called Avimukteshwara, etc. And that is the last mantra in that Upanishad, Javala Upanishad. And the mantra, the last line is like this: Tasmad avimuktaha ashrito bhavati. But very interesting thing is how avimukta is a name of a Lord. Because vimuktaha means liberated. That you know very well. Muktaha, vimuktaha means liberated. Avimuktaha means not liberated, bound. Then how avimukta name can be there for Lord? Who is bound, who is samsari in fact. That's called avimukta. No. Well, here vimuktaha means free, of course. Liberated, free. Free from what? Free from dharma, adharma rules is called vimuktaha. Who is free from dharma, adharma rules? Who is free from dharma, adharma rules? No, Lord. No. All these living beings, other than the human being, have no dharma, adharma. They don't have any dharma shastra books, dharma shastra books. A lion is carrying to deliver certain lectures on dharma. So lion has our Chris will be enjoying now. So on buffaloes, let's say, they have a huge conference to discuss. Well, what are the samanya dharmas and what are vishesha dharmas? No. So vimuktaha is equal to pashuhu. Yeah, pashuhu. They don't have dharma, adharma. And avimuktaha, who is other than all the pashus. That is Pashupati. This is a Shaiva Siddhanta, a part of. So Pashu, Pashupati. Why name Pashu? Because which is tied with the pasha, rope, is called Pashu. Pashena yaha badhyate saha Pashu. They say the jivas, they are tied, right? Tied to karmas and ajnanam and all that. So jivas are bound. Pashena yaha badhyate saha Pashu. Pasha means a rope. But here that you have to think karma rope, and this ignorance rope, like that. You have to think like that. That's how they describe in a Shaiva Siddhanta. Pashena yaha badhyate, Pashu. So all the jivas, they are called vimuktas. Avimuktaha, who is distinct from that, who is free from that, who is not bound by this avidya, karma, etc., janma maranam, etc., is a Pashupati Lord. So avimukta is equal to Pashupati. Right? So this is how Pashupati. And Pashupati releases, this is how their Siddhanta is. Pashupati releases all Pashus, means jivas, from samsara rope. He cuts the rope by which the jiva is tied. Like Pashu is, tied to a particular place, cattle lover. Anyway, so three things are there: Pashu, Pashupati, and Pasha. Pasha means samsara. Pashupati releases all jivas from samsara. Anyway, so here tasmad avimuktaha ashritaha bhavati. So this person resort to avimukta means Pashupati, to Lord. He ashrito bhavati, and then he meditates and ultimately becomes free. That is what it has been said. Word Varanasi also is like this. Varanasi. So these two eyebrows are called, one is called Varna, other is called Asi. What is there between two eyebrows is Parameshwara. So what resides between Varanasi, what resides in Varanasi, Varanasi has become Varanasi. Who resides in Varanasi is called Avimukteshwara, Kashi Vishwanath. That's how they say. In Varanasi there is a Kashi Vishwanath, but this is how it has been told. And in Yoga Shastra, very beautifully it has been said. The person, while this yogi, so he raises his Kundalini from the Muladhara. So he lifts himself, you know, himself, and through yoga practices, various types of pranayama, he raises the Kundalini. Kundalini is nothing but your hidden power. Everyone has a certain hidden potential, we say, and that is called Kundalini. Kundalini means a coiled serp. A coiled serp has a potential energy. If it spreads itself, I mean, if it uncoils itself, well, it will be very, very dangerous. So a coiled snake, like you have even a certain physical power also, which is hidden, which is potentially there. Today you walk or you jog for half a mile, suppose. Then you may decide, suppose after 2-3 days you decide, well, I want to jog for not just half a mile, but let's say a little quarter mile more, and you stretch. Then you stretch means what? You are tapping your own potential physical power. That's called Kundalini. Same way, you have a certain potential energy, potential power is there with respect to prana. Prana is of course power, huge power. And so you put, I mean, that is there, which you, through pranayama, you invoke. Various types of pranayas are there which can invoke. I'm not, please, justifying all these things. We may not go into that, but I'm just trying to explain you. And so, well, you invoke or tap your this pranic power through various pranayamas, starting from the Muladhara. Muladhara is where this potential power is there. And so you tap it through pranayamas and raise and come up to Agnya Chakram, passing through various chakras and come to Agnya Chakram. And in Agnya Chakram already Lord is there. And so you unite with that. So always you will find yogis meditate here. That's a place of meditation, and that's where we also do tilakam. Yeah, because that's a place of a Ishvara. Between Varna and Asi. Varanasi, that is where we are doing tilakam. Somebody asked me why you are doing tilakam here and not here. This is a place. Yeah. Anyway, once it comes to Agnya Chakram and identifies with Parameshwara, now, well, you are the exalted Jiva, and so at the time of death, you passes through the Sushumna Nadi, and breaking this Brahmarandra goes to Brahmaloka. This is how yogis go to Brahmaloka, because ultimately you raise yourself, and also Ashtanga Yoga is there, so you do Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and definitely well, you will also go to Brahmaloka, passing through Sushumna. From Agnya Chakra to Sahasrara, there is a Sushumna Nadi, passes through Sushumna Nadi. So his pranas do not go through any other dwaras. It will go through that, and definitely he goes to Brahmaloka. This is how their principle is in general. There are many details, but I may not be knowing everything. But I'm just telling you this in with regard to this. Anyway, so one discovers Kashi Vishwanath here. Yeah, that's a place here. And so how? Avimukta Upasana. Avimukta, I told you already. So Upasana, meditating on this. Yeah, so you can take. Prabodh Bhai is here, so he's just joined. So you can take actual Kashi or I think I can just stop it. So actual Kashi, that Kashi region, etc., or well, you can take this between eyebrows. One always, either way, you meet Kashi Vishwanath, and you meditate upon that. And when that Upasaka dies, he will, if he has already before that he has the knowledge, Aham Brahmasmi, well, because obstacles have gone, fine, liberated, Brahma Nirvana. Not liberated, going through Sushumna Nadi, going to Brahmaloka, well, and in Brahmaloka one gains knowledge, definitely all the obstacles will go, gets exalted body there, naturally, the world is different, it's a different realm, depending upon the realm, one gains a body. Like in a realm of a dream world, you have a dream body. Realm of this world, you have this type of a body. I mean, so anyway, so you will get the mukti. This is said in this Japalopanishad. Avimuktopasanena. Taraka Brahma Buddhivat. Taraka means, well, definitely liberating. Tarayati iti Taraka. Taraka Brahma Buddhi. Brahma Jnanam. Taraka Brahma Buddhivat. Just as liberating Brahma Jnanam, well, liberates you, gives you moksha, same way this upasana also gives this mukti. But how? This upasana will ultimately, upasana nirgun Brahma, upasana vimukteshvara or avimukta Ishvara, well, as a nirgunam Brahma, one gains to Brahmaloka and gains mukti. So that way we have to understand. Taraka Brahma Buddhivat means sadhya mukti. Whereas here, avimukta upasana, etc., well, through going to Brahmaloka, gain knowledge and mukti. So krama mukti. So make the difference. Verse 141. So kamo nishkama iti yashariro nirindriyah abhayam hiti muktatvam tapaniye phalam shrutam. Another pramana, tapaniye. So, Nrsimha Uttara Tapani Upanishad. So, he quotes in this mantra, three mantras he quotes. I mean, paraphrasing, three mantras from the Nrsimha Uttara Tapani Upanishad. 5, 3, 6, 7, 3, and 8, 3. I will tell you how these three are there. So, what is the topic there? There, this Omkara Upasana is there. Omkara Vichara are talked exactly. See, let me tell you first thing. Prashnopanishad talks about Omkar Upasana in the 5th chapter. Mandukya Upanishad talks about, Mandukya Upanishad analyzes Omkara for knowledge, for Atmajnanam. That's a difference between these two. So, Omkara, which stands for Vishwa, Virat, etc. Omkara, Akara stands for, I think last time I told you, Akara stands for Vishwa and Virat. Ukara stands for Taijasa and Hiranyagarbha, because Veshti Samashti. And Makara stands for, well, Pragnya and Ishvara. This is how even Mandukya Karika has described. So, Prathamak Padaha, Dvitiyak Padaha, Tritiyak Padaha, and then Turiya, etc. So, basically, a beautiful analysis of Omkara for which leads to Atmajnana and Moksha is done in Mandukya Upanishad. But Omkar Upasana, and that too I will explain you. So Omkar Upasana, and that too with a Prathama Varna, predominance of the Prathama Varna or a Dvitiya Varna, Trimatra or Prathama Matra, and then Dvitiya Matra and Tritiya Matra. All the results of that Upasana, etc., have been mentioned in Prashnopanishad. So in Prashnopanishad, 5th chapter, which has some 5 mantras, and they talk about basically Upasana, resorting to Omkara. So this is a difference. Of course, Nrsimha Uttara Tapani Upanishad also here, well, talks about it. Saha akamaha nishkamaha iti, then ashariraha nirindriyaha, etc. And then abhayam hi iti muktatvam tapaniye phalam shrutam. That also discusses this. So well, he talks about a Omkar Upasana and Karma Mukti. So he does not give a detail, of course, but he only gives he refers to the mantra, 3 mantras, as I told you, partly. They are long mantras. The fifth mantra, the fifth chapter, the third mantra is very long. Seventh chapter also, the third mantra is very long. Eighth chapter also, the third mantra is quite long. But he is just paraphrasing part of it in this verse. And of course, he is mentioning with the help of Omkara, well, taking Alambana and doing Upasana, also leads to knowledge that is there in Nrsimhatapni Upanishad. So first is what? In the fifth chapter, third mantra, in the Nrsimha Uttaratapni Upanishad, it is said, Saha akamaha nishkamaha bhavati. That Omkara Upasana leads to Krama Mukti, akamaha, nishkamaha. Nishkama, see, the Mukti has been narrated by Bhagavan also in this way. So basically, prajahati yada kaman, right? Yada kaman prajahati. When basically this all the desires, binding desires go away. Because raga dveshas are not there, and when he understands that he is full and complete, and he is the source of very ananda, and therefore he doesn't have a binding desires for any objects. So he is a nishkamaha, because both the things are mentioned, akamaha, nishkamaha. Nishkama means this such a person who has done Omkara Upasana and gained Jnanam in Brahmaloka, let us say. Well, such a person, akamaha nishkamaha bhavati. Where is mentioned? This is Nrsimha Uttaratapani Upanishad, 5th chapter, 3rd mantra. Then 7th chapter also is mentioning, is quoting, but first this part. Nishkamaha. So, he gains a freedom from all available kamas. This is nishkamaha. Then akamaha means what? Well, there is no arrival of fresh kamas. So this is however, because atmani eva atmana tushtaha. Well, so binding desires are not there. Non-binding desires are there. At least one person who is a Jivan Mukta, we know that definitely they have a non-binding desire, like Acharya, Bhashakara, or even Bhagavan. Let's say you take as an example of a Jivan Mukta. There are desires in a Bhagavan also. But these are all, so the desires, we call it as a loka sangraha, etc. So desires, non-binding desires. So this is 5.3. Saha akamaha nishkamaha bhavati. Okay. And then the second mantra is the 7th chapter of Nrsimha Uttaratapani Upanishad, and again third mantra, partly quoted here. What is that? Ashariraha nirindriyaha. Ashariraha nirindriyaha. This upasaka, on the Omkar upasaka, definitely gains a freedom from what? Sharira and Ashariraha. Means he gains a freedom from Sharira and Indriya. Sthula Sharira Rahita. Indriya means a Sukshma Sharira Rahita. And we have to take it Karana Sharira Rahita. So he will become free from all the three bodies. Means he will become free from the identification with all the three bodies. Or when you can take it, he will become free from all the three bodies. When you say, well, he will become free from the, he gains a Videha Mukti, etc. So this way we can take it. So 7th chapter or 7th khanda, they call there it as a khanda, like in Chandogya we have a khanda. So instead of a chapter, sometime called khanda. So Mundaka Upanishad says Mundaka. So here it's a khanda, 7th khanda, 3rd mantra. Is also very long mantra, but partly quoted. Ashariraha and nirindriyaha bhavati. This is also gained by Omkar Upasana, going to Brahmaloka. All you have to take it, and then gains Krama Mukti, and then the Nrsimha Uttaratapani Upanishad describes such a person. Then the third, Abhayam iti va Abhayam. So this is the 8th chapter or 8th khanda, 3rd mantra. So he gains a abhayatvam. He gains a fearlessness, right? So abhayam pratishtham vindate, we know very well. Abhayam brahma bhavati. So this is also a very long mantra, but partly quoted here. And through this mantra, what is said? Muktatvam shrutam. Mukti is shrutam. Mukti is shown. Mukti is given as the phalam for the Nirguna Brahma Upasaka. It is Krama Mukti. Muktatvam here is a Krama Mukti. Because akamaha nishkamaha, he becomes free from all binding desires. Muktatvam. Then ashariraha nirindriyaha. He becomes free from these three bodies. Well, definitely free. He becomes free from all limitations. Then abhayamiti. Well, he becomes free from fear. See, this is how it is. So that is how Acharya says all the three, and lastly says muktatvam shutam. Through this mantra, while the person who has done this Omkar Upasana and went to Brahmaloka, gained knowledge, gains Krama Mukti, he gains this Mukti in this manner. So this is how he wants to say that one who does Nirguna Brahma Upasana, here the Alambanam is a Omkara. This is, you can take an Alambanam. I will explain you, don't worry about it right now. So I will explain you all this Upasana, Pratik Upasana, Pratima Upasana, etc. So anyway, so he gains a Karma Mukti. We have to add, of course, in Brahmaloka also, gaining knowledge. He may not require much time because exalted body, exalted teacher, definitely the person is very free. He has done Upasana here in this world. And so he has, definitely his mind is free from all obstacles or any other obstacles. Well, and he is ready. And he listens to Brahmaji teaching Mundaka Upanishad or Kena Upanishad, whatever. So he gains mukti immediately. That's a wonderful thing. Now 142. Upasanasya samarthyat vidyotpattir bhavet tatah nanyah pantha iti hyetat shastram naiva virudhyate. Since, because you see here, he mentions like that the one who has done this Omkar Upasana, taking resort, taking alambanam of the Omkara, one who has done Upasana gains Mukti. It's a loose statement, right? And so, an initial student, of course, will definitely fill up that gap. He has to fill up the gap that Nirguna Upasana, our teacher has to supply. That Nirguna Upasana cannot give moksha directly. Well, so but it through the knowledge, etc. Jnanena moksha, that is to be understood very well. That is how in Shastra, and Acharya may quote several things. Maybe initially person may feel that there could be another way. In fact, I still remember that when I was, taking class in Vidyanagar, Vallabh Vidyanagar in Anand, I'm sharing for some other purpose. And every week I used to go there. And one person who is well versed in the Shastra and everything, and used to come and argue with me for hours together. That Vidyaranya said that Nirguna Brahma Upasana can give knowledge. He need not have to attend your class. Really. He came for many weeks, many Sundays, and weekends, and he used to argue. And I told him that basically this is not true. Upasana cannot give moksha. Even Bhashyakara has mentioned in Kathopanishad, well, that dhyanam chet, well, that ultimately this, and jnanam chet this, etc., etc. So basically, jnanam gives moksha because you are already free, you do not know, etc. But no, Vidyaranya has said in the 9th chapter, Nirguna Brahma Upasana gives moksha. He told me, you don't know. You read the chapter. So now I still remember how person takes it literally. They think that this is like this. But actually, we will have to fill up the gap. I don't know how well versed person. He was quite a Vidwan kind of a person. He used to quote also Shastra. How he missed, I still don't know. Maybe perhaps he was not exposed to this traditional teaching. Because of that, it could have happened. But otherwise, Shastra is very clear. Even in Purusha Suktam, Nanyah Pantha Vidyate Ayanaya, etc., etc., you know very well. Tameva Vidvan Amrita Iha Bhavati. Tameva Vidvan Iha Amritaha Bhavati. Iha, here itself, in this life itself, Vidvan, one who knows this, the self as it is, Amritaha Bhavati, gains moksha. Na Anyah Pantha Vidyate Ayanaya. There is no other marga for gaining moksha or to gain amrutatva. Very clear, Purusha Suktam also. So anyway, people may miss the bus. So Vidyaranya makes clear that Nirguna Brahma Upasana does not give moksha or directly. He has to gain the knowledge. Either gain knowledge here or gain later. By the way, one person asked me before a few days a question that Swamiji, if a person gains you said person gains a moksha at towards the end of the life, then perhaps he might not have listened the thing. He may not be in a position to listen. Then how can you say because of Nirguna Brahma Upasana only he has gained mukti? He has not listened. I said samskaras are there. You have done Shravanam. Just think, whatever Shravanam you are doing, at other time when you are not in a class, certain time that Shravanam, from that, the samskaras are there, that rises in your mind and gives you certain clarity. The clarity which you are not getting here, the same thing becomes clear later or today also, tomorrow, anytime. So could you follow? Therefore, once the obstacle goes, you have already done Shravanam, Mahavakya Shravanam is done. So those things become clear. You may not have that you are attending classes and cannot attend the class towards the end of the life, etc. And therefore, how can you say that Jnana, he gains Jnanam and gains a moksha? Well, your own samskaras are there of the Shravanam, and those things you know that those things become clear. Today, which is not clear to you, it becomes clear without even exposing to the teaching right now, which is there. Because already you have a samskara of a vasana, our vasanas are there. So that way it becomes clear. So anyway, so upasanasya samarthyat, because of the power of this upasana, vidyotpattihi bhaved, so this knowledge will rise. This also vagueness is there. We have to say, well, upasanasya samarthyat, and then through Mahavakya Vichara, vidyotpattihi bhaved, the knowledge will take place. Well, of course, as I said, in Brahmaloka it is quite quick because the upadhi is really exalted upadhi. One gains a sharira, well, which is exalted. Not Sthula Sharira, but Sukshma Sharira also exalted. So that is the criteria. Sthula Sharira also may be exalted anyway. So here itself we know and we can understand very well that some students understand very quickly here itself in our class, and some students need certain repetition. So that kind of a tartamya will be always there. Same way in a Brahmaloka, definitely the person will understand very quickly. We have to take it that way. Or like any example, Kenopanishad. What I said, in a given class, one understands very quickly, one needs a lot of repetition. Kenopanishad is a best example. Where, just the definition of Atma, etc. was given in a second mantra, third mantra, fourth mantra, fifth mantra, 4-5 mantras. And once then teacher thought, let me ask a question that what I am saying is understood or not. Shrutrasya shrotram, etc., etc. Yat shrotrena na shronoti, yena shrotram idagam shrutam, tadeva brahmatvam viddhi, nedam yadidam upasate. All 4-5 mantras. Then he asked the question, anybody has understood this? And one person got up and he said that I have understood. And not only that, so he said, I know Brahman. And I tell you also that I don't know Brahman. And I made this statement in this class. Whoever understood this statement of mine, he also knows Brahman. So that like that, So basically, I know Brahman. Yes. I know Brahman. No. Yeah. So you can understand. I think I explained you once. So I know Brahman clearly means as an object, no. It means you don't know Brahman? No. It is not that I don't know Brahman. I know Brahman as the very adhishthanam of the knower. Yeah. So I don't objectify the Brahman. So one who understands this statement in this class also knows Brahman. He said very beautifully. And so the person has understood very quickly. Then, well, afterwards, teacher has to dilute the teaching, and he has diluted. And so he introduced the story. To make teaching more effective. Shrotrasya shrotram, so that shrotram has been taken as a shrotra devata. So all devatas are able to do the function. Because of what? Because of the Brahman. So Shrotrasya Shrotram was a direct teaching, but person has not understood. So they converted that Shrotra into Shrotra Devata, right? And then he made a story. Teacher has made a story that all the Devatas have won over the Asuras, and they were, they had a party of victory party, and everyone was doing cheers, cheers. Oh, I killed this many Asuras, and he said, I killed this many Asuras. And Bhagavan thought, Shrotrasya Shrotram is me. How can how can they say like that? So he appeared in that that party plot. He appeared there as a yaksha. And devatas themselves are effulgent being living in the Swarga, which is called Dyuloka. Swargaloka is like this, they call Dyuloka. Divadhatu is means to shine. The whole world, Swargaloka is shining. And they saw this yaksha. They could not take away their eyes from the yaksha. Such a effulgent. They thought, who is this being? We have never seen in our Swarga. Why he appeared here without any invitation? And then, Indra said to Agni and then Val and our, Vayu Devata to go and see who is he. I mean, with the Shrotra and etc., you try to objectify the Brahman, the Yaksha. You cannot. Please understand this. You cannot objectify. That's how they returned. Patak, patak. They came back. Yeah. Before they asked, Agni Devata asked the question, who are you? To Yaksha. Yaksha asked, who are you? My God. Agni, who is most popular, who doesn't know fire in this world? It's like asking Narendra Modi comes here and if somebody asks, hey, who are you? So it's a great insult. Yeah. Means that if you objectify through the Shrotram, through the Chakshu, you will never get who is Brahman. Amazing. Kenopanishad is amazing. There are levels of teaching. Levels of teaching, and the last level was, my God. So, Bho Upanishadam Bruhi. Well, the last student who is still not able to understand, he tells the teacher, please teach Upanishad. What was taught in these 3 chapters? Where were you? So, totally gross. Because he said, please teach me Upanishad. But by what we taught from Shrotrasya Shrotram, Acharya was... all levels of students are there. All levels of students are there. Anyway, and therefore that is possible. If one goes to Brahmaloka, one gains knowledge and within no time, may not need repetition. That's true. Very true. Anyway, so Tataha, therefore, Nanyaf Panthaha iti Shastram. This statement is not contradicted by me. It is already there. That this statement which is that Upasana gives moksha, etc., that's not correct. Anyaha Panthaha na vidyate iti Shastram. Well, Purusha Suktam is there, Shvetashvatar Upanishad also it comes. And says, Tameva Vidvan iha Amrita Bhavati. Vidvan, one who knows Brahman, definitely gains Amritattvam. There is no other, Nanya Pantha, there is no other Pantha, there is no other Marga. Therefore, Upasana doesn't give the moksha. Definitely you have to supply in between Mahavakya Vichara, etc. or knowledge. Okay, I think we'll stop here. Now 143 onwards we'll do it. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.